Good evening, I'm Peyton Simchek. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. Protests continued throughout southeastern Ohio after the Supreme Court's ruling on abortion. Abortion protests continue, and protesters came out in smaller communities like Logan in support of access to safe abortions. August Steinmetz, who organized the protests at Worthington Park Saturday, says she wants her voice to be heard.
I'm hoping that for people who do not hold the same opinion as me and those who are helping me protest, that it at least opens their eyes a little bit more to how other people are feeling about this and how deeply we feel about this issue and what's going on.
Protesters filled the Athens County Courthouse steps and sidewalk over the weekend. They want Athens County prosecutors to not pursue any crimes associated with abortion. The Ohio Supreme Court says the state constitution does not recognize the right to an abortion. This comes after the court last week denied abortion providers' request to free the newly imposed state ban on abortion at 6 weeks. The release of body camera footage from the fatal shooting of Jalen Walker in Akron, Ohio has been released, and the debate over the police use of force back in headlines across the country. The graphic video is in this story, and it may be disturbing for some audiences. Amy Kiley reports Walker's family hopes his death will inspire change.
We are done dying.
Advocates say they hope the police killing of Jalen Walker prompts nationwide debate over police use of force. Police say these traffic cameras show Walker fleeing a traffic stop and a muzzle flash coming from his vehicle.
21 shots fired.
They say they found a shell casing at that spot along the road.
You hear the gunshot, and then that changes the whole nature of the traffic stop.
This video shows when the chase became a foot race.
An armed suspect wearing a ski mask is far from routine.
Officers say they tried to subdue Walker with tasers, but failed. This next video is graphic. It shows officers shooting and killing Walker.
There is no pausing. There is literally nothing in his hands.
According to police, a medical examiner's report says Walker's body has dozens of gunshot wounds.
They're going to have to articulate what was the perception of threat and why was it necessary to fire however many rounds each officer fired.
Police later found a gun inside Walker's vehicle, not on his body.
The reasonable officer's perception at the time of the encounter is what's going to be important, not looking back.
Justice for Jalen looks like this: accountability and change in terms of the procedures and policies in place.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
8 officers involved have been placed on paid leave. The local Fraternal Order of Police Union says the shooting was justified, including the number of shots fired. Ohio officials are looking for an inmate who escaped custody in Cincinnati. Patrick Thomas was seen on surveillance video Sunday using bed sheets to climb out a 3rd-story window. Thomas is one of 4 inmates who have recently escaped custody. James Johnson was being treated at UC Medical Center before walking away in shackles. He was later arrested and charged with felony escape. 2 other inmates tried to escape by leaving with inmates who were about to be released. They were put back in custody. Thomas is still at large, but officials say he may have been injured during the escape.
Good evening, I'm your forecaster, Jacob Mata. In Athens tonight, we're currently looking at 79 degrees Fahrenheit here with about some partly sunny skies and partly cloudy skies. The humidity is looking at about 73%, excuse me, and the wind is blowing at about 7 miles an hour. So even though it is a little humid and a little warm out, you still have that nice wind to cool you down. And then looking at the temperatures around right now, in Athens it is 77 degrees, and then up here in Lancaster it's 82. All the way over in Wilmington it is still very warm at 90 degrees. And then looking at the live radar right now, as you can see, as this storm comes back down through Athens, we have already had this one pass. That is what hit earlier today. And then we could still get hit by the tail end of this storm moving down through later tonight. So that one is the one that could hit us. But will rain continue throughout the day and into tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week? Find out more in my full forecast. Back to you, Peyton.
Thank you, Jacob. A new proposal that would ban businesses from requiring or incentivizing vaccines takes one more step towards the Ohio ballot. The potential Ohio constitutional amendment, known as the medical right to refuse, applies to both employees and customers of businesses. The proposal was unanimously certified by the Ohio Ballot Board after some discussion about splitting the amendment into two. Secretary of State Frank LaRossi says the conversation would be great for Ohioans, but the main goal should be focusing on one issue. The proposal still needs nearly 443,000 petition signatures to be placed on the ballot. An Ohio hunter is being sentenced to just under a decade in prison for illegal possession of a weapon after shooting and wounding an Ohio Department of Natural Resources officer in 2020. The officer was investigating a deer poaching complaint at the time. 45-year-old Brian Liming of Jamestown pleaded guilty in August. Clinton County prosecutors said that Liming was convicted of felonious assault. Evidence tampering and misdemeanor hunting charges. Federal prosecutors said his federal sentence will run consecutively to his local sentence. A federal judge is ruling in favor of 3 major U.S. drug distributors in a lawsuit filed in West Virginia. Judge David Faber issued a ruling yesterday, nearly a year after closing arguments were held. The lawsuit was filed by Cabell County in the city of Huntington. The suit accused AmerisourceBergen, Cardinal Health, and McKesson of causing health crisis for distributing 81 million pills over 8 years. Faber says that while the opioid crisis has taken a toll, such cases should be decided on the facts and law, not sympathy. Coming up, new details on the suspect who shot up an Illinois parade are being released. Plus, a new national suicide hotline is launching next week. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
In early 2020, frontline workers and families in Wuhan, China, unite to confront an emerging crisis. An intimate portrait of love in a time of uncertainty. Wuhan, Wuhan, on POV.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
We're on the road for 3 weeks.
You just put a little fire in my belly.
To follow the Muslim thread woven through the fabric of our country.
The American story is the Muslim story.
That made me like giddy. There's this person named Muhammad Ali who is a worldwide phenomenon.
We're taking the great Muslim American road trip.
Tuesday at 10 on WOUB.
On Finding Your Roots, actor Ty Burrell.
That is amazing.
And radio host Joe Madison.
Never had dreamed that this could exist.
Family legends.
You believe the story? I think there was probably some shame there or something.
And shocking stories.
Who is that? Joe, that is your biological father. I have seen that face. I could not tell you where.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
At least 6 people are dead after celebrating at a July 4th parade where a shooter opened fire. Dozens of others are injured following the deadly event in Highland Park, Illinois. Connor Powell looks into the investigation and the new details coming out about the suspected gunman who fired 70 rounds into the crowd.
A beautiful day turned into a nightmare as bullets rained down on a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois.
You can't remember whether you're supposed to shelter or run, but your instinct is to run, and we ran.
crowded streets emptying as people rush to take cover, leaving behind American flags, strollers, and scattered lawn chairs.
I ran to my grandma's house, which was just around the block, and we were stuck there for hours.
As the chaos ensued in the northern Chicago suburb, stories of heroism are emerging, like Dr. Lauren Schechter, who ran back towards the parade to help anyone who was hurt.
We got to safety, and I just said I'm turning around, and we'll go back and do what we can do. There were several older people who had fallen, who had some scrapes and bruises. They were okay. Tried to comfort and relax and get them to relax a bit till the ambulance could get here.
The man police believe is behind this vicious attack is 21-year-old Robert Cremo, a Highwood, Illinois resident. Officials say it appears he legally bought the high-powered rifle used in this attack and planned this for several weeks. Chilling new details also emerging about the lengths he went to carry out this massacre.
During the attack, Cremo was dressed in women's clothing, and investigators do believe he did this to conceal his facial tattoos and his identity.
In Highland Park, Illinois, I'm Connor Powell reporting.
Google is planning to automatically delete location history records that show whether a person has visited an abortion clinic or fertility center. This comes in the wake of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. Google says the move is aimed at helping users protect their privacy when they visit places that could shed light on their personal medical situation or healthcare decisions. Google users can already set some or all of their location history to be deleted automatically after a period of time. But the company said it's making that the default setting when it comes to a range of medical locations. A new national hotline for those needing mental health assistance is launching next week. New national has been 988 has been designated as the new 3-digit dialing code to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It was originally called the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The new number will be available to everyone across the U.S. starting on July 16th. Commissioner at the Bureau for Behavioral Health with the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources, Christina Mullins, said the number will help to have easy access.
I think it is important to have something that's easy to know and easy to remember. Veterans will know it's available. Our older residents will know it's available, as well as our teens and young people will know it's there.
According to the website, when people call or send a text to 988, trained counselors will be ready to help them. The counselors are already part of the existing National Suicide Prevention Lifeline Network. The biggest expansion of AUS alliance in decades may deter attacks of the U.S. and other member countries. Amy Kiley reports on what's happening in NATO and why what's happening in Ukraine makes it so important.
This week, the U.S. is celebrating independence and alliances.
Sweden and Finland joining NATO is so important.
The potential now accession of Sweden and Finland, which will change the alliance forever.
Today, the U.S. and its NATO allies signing what are called accession protocols. Those set up ratification procedures to accept 2 new member countries. That's a big deal. It sets up possibly the most significant change to the U.S. alliance in decades.
2 new NATO allies with formidable military force and capabilities.
The timing is important because of Russia's war in Ukraine.
I think everyone's very concerned about the potential for future aggression.
Russia has just taken control of much of eastern Ukraine as it continues westward attacks.
Russians are shooting over 50 missiles a day, targeting different Ukrainian cities.
NATO allies vow to defend each other against foreign attack, so more members means more protection for the U.S. and other member countries. Just yesterday, that strength in numbers was a point of emphasis when a U.S. Army general became NATO's Supreme Allied Commander Europe.
We will march together into a beautiful future of peace and prosperity for all of us.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
God bless you all.
President Joe Biden could soon roll back tariffs on Chinese consumer goods. The president has been looking for ways to combat inflation, meeting with senior advisors over the past several weeks to come up with potential solutions. The administration is trying to strike a balance between easing price and pressures and keeping the pressure on China. Some Democrats and organized labor unions are pushing Biden to keep the tariffs in place to protect U.S. jobs. White House officials say Biden is expected to talk to the Chinese President Xi Jinping soon. How having COVID-19 may affect your long-term health. That story's still ahead.
Rain has been falling all day long, but how long will it continue? Find out later in my full weather forecast.
On Nova, Universe Revealed.
We're actually going in to touch the sun. What are our cosmic origins?
We share this intimate connection with stars.
Now, our sun won't live forever. It will start to die.
The era of stars will come to an end.
The Age of Stars on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
On Finding Your Roots, actor Ty Burrell.
That is amazing.
And radio host Joe Madison.
Never had dreamed that this could exist.
Family legends.
You believe the story?
I think there was probably some shame there or something.
And shocking stories.
Who is that? Joe, that is your biological father. I have seen that face. I could not tell you where.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
In early 2020, frontline workers and families in Wuhan, China, unite to confront an emerging crisis. An intimate portrait of love in a time of uncertainty. Wuhan, Wuhan, on POV.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
Welcome back. And now looking at Athens today, the temperature high is about 85, the low is about 68, but we have that severe chance of thunderstorms. It's about a 50% chance. It would have been a nice evening, but those are still looming around, so make sure to keep an eye on the sky if you decide to go outside tonight. And then moving on to the local radar, again, as you can see, that storm that was hitting us here in Athens is now past. It's moving down through. That was hitting all morning throughout the day, but we still have a chance to be hit by this coming through Chillicothe. It's some light rain. There is a chance it will die off before it gets to us, but as you can see, it is fading quickly. And then onward onto a more regional scale here, as you can see up in the northwest part of the United States here, and coming down through Ohio, we have that storm system. It's going down past now the entire northeast part here of the country. It does look like it has cloud cover moving in now from that storm, so keep an eye on those cloudy skies. And then looking into tonight, we have a overnight low of about 68. Again, a nice night if it wasn't for a 70% chance of thunderstorms that we have now. So if you are planning to go out tonight, make sure to take a rain jacket, some rain boots, and an umbrella. And if I were you, I'd just leave them by the door because you're most likely going to need them in the morning all throughout the rest of the week as well. And then moving on to tomorrow, we have a high of 89 degrees with a low of 69. Another nice day, but that 70% chance of thunderstorms looks like it's here to stay. It's going to rain again tomorrow, most likely, and it could be severe as well. And then moving on here, we have a graph of down in southeast Ohio and this whole southern part of Ohio. That yellow blob represents a more moderate rainfall that could come into the state. And surrounded by it is that light rainfall, which we could see move in toward the end of the day once the storms are over. And then coming back in here, we have this low pressure system that will move through tomorrow. It's going to move down, and behind the system will bring some thunderstorms with it. If you are around the Columbus area here, make sure to be aware as those storms could be very severe. And then moving into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, it's the theme of the week. We've got more thunderstorms, a 70% chance on Friday, a 40% chance on Saturday. Both highs of the day are 84, but Sunday is the day to look at as it will be very nice, mostly sunny with some clouds. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday on the 7-day outlook are looking like more rain, about a 70% chance on Wednesday, 80% on Thursday, and then 70 on Friday. But it dies down on Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday looks like the day that you will want to be outside. It's going to be rather nice, and that's the day that I would make it out. And that is all I have. Back to you, Peyton.
Thank you, Jacob. A new study is linking coronavirus reinfections to an increased likelihood of getting other serious health conditions. Jen Sullivan has a closer look as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations rise across the country and a new wave of variants emerge.
Getting COVID-19 2 or more times could raise the risk of new serious health problems and even death. That's according to a new preprint study looking into the impact of repeated COVID-19 infections as a new wave of COVID variants are surfacing across the U.S.
The CDC still is reporting on the new variants, Omicron, and the subvariants like BA4 and BA5.
The study looked at the records of more than 5 million patients in the Veterans Affairs health system and found that people with 2 or more documented infections had more than twice the risk of dying compared to those with just one COVID-19 reinfection. Researchers say reinfection also increased the likelihood of getting lung and heart problems, diabetes, digestive and kidney disorders, as well as neurologic problems. This study found the risk was the highest around the time of a COVID-19 infection, but persisted for 6 months and increased with each additional reinfection. The new research comes as the U.S. sees a rise in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations, with the 7-day average of new daily cases at 100,000, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. And as the virus continues to evolve, some health experts continue to recommend boosters and are calling for an update on what it means to be fully vaccinated against the virus.
In the context of a pandemic that is still ongoing and a virus that is continuing to evolve and creating more challenges, including reinfection, we might need to reconsider this. Up to date doesn't have the same kind of sense of completion.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Jen Sullivan.
According to the CDC, the general population over 5 years old is encouraged to get 1 booster. The second booster right now is only recommended to those who are 50 and older or those who are 12 and older and are immunocompromised.
Coming up in sports, the Southern Ohio Copperheads were set to take on the Cincinnati Steam, but Mother Nature had other plans. That story when Newswatch returns. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
On Finding Your Roots, actor Ty Burrell.
That is amazing.
And radio host Joe Madison.
Never had dreamed that this could exist.
Family legends.
You believe the story? I think there was probably some shame there or something.
And shocking stories.
Who is that?
Joe, that is your biological father.
I have seen that face. I could not tell you where.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
This month in Passport on the PBS Video app, your on-demand library for the best of PBS.
This is the point where you reveal I'm not even human.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
Mentally, we're extremely fit. We have this incredible ability to adapt and persevere.
What Ballet Trocadero has done over the years is turned ballet kind of on its head.
These and other shows from your PBS station are available with Passport on the PBS Video app. Download it today.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, we've got treasures with some of the luckiest tales.
My father won it during World War II in a poker game.
The most drama.
It says sole survivor of Mount Pelée volcano. The volcano was in 1902. It wiped out the entire town of St. Pierre.
And the most intriguing backstories in the country.
Shut the front door, girl.
Tune in to Antiques Roadshow, American Stories.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. The Southern Ohio Copperheads game against the Cincinnati Steam scheduled for tonight has been rescheduled due to weather. The Cheds' 5-4 win yesterday against the Steam after dropping both games over the weekend was crucial in an effort to get back on track. A single to center field from Mitch Class in the top of the 10th inning brought Clayton Hodges home to give the Cheds the lead. Pitcher Adam Beery shut the door on the bottom of the frame and gave the Cheds the extra inning win. Tonight's game against the Steam is rescheduled for July 14th. Southern Ohio remains in last place in the Greater Lakes Summer Collegiate League standings. The Cheds have gone 4-6 in their previous 10 games and have an overall record of 8-14. 3 games above them are the Grand Lake Mariners, sitting at 11-13. It's a close race at the top as the Hamilton Joes take the top spot with the Licking County Settlers not far behind. Both teams went 5-5 the last 10 games and are within 1 game of one another. If the Copperheads hope to move up, it's crucial for them to win. The Cincinnati Reds are in a delay in Game 2 against the New York Mets. The Reds look to bounce back as they dropped the series opener last night 7-4. Despite the Reds tying the game at 3 in the bottom of the 3rd frame, the Mets took back the lead in the top of the 5th inning. Brendan Nimmo had 3 RBIs and 1 run scored, while Dominic Smith had 2 RBIs in the victory. The Mets had 12 hits compared to the Reds' 7. The final game of the series takes place tomorrow night at Great American Ballpark. The Cleveland Guardians look to get back on track after dropping last night's game against the Detroit Tigers 5-3. Despite Cleveland scoring 3 runs in the top of the 4th inning and taking the lead, Detroit scored a run of its own in the bottom of the 6th inning, putting it up 1. A home run from Eric Haas in the bottom of the 7th finished off the scoring and propelled the Tigers to the victory. First pitch for tonight is scheduled for 7:10 from Comerica Park. 6-time Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic advances to the semifinals in dramatic fashion after taking down Jannik Sinner. The Joker dug himself a big hole early, dropping the first 2 sets 7-5, 6-2. Then Djokovic showed why he is the #1 player in the world, dominating the next 3 sets to slam the door on Sinner. Djokovic takes on the 9th-ranked Cameron Norrie Friday for a chance to compete for his 4th straight championship. I'm Maria Manessi, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Peyton.
Thanks, Maria. Hot dog eating legend Joey Chestnut has extended his record again. This is his 15th win at Nathan's hot dog eating contest. But this title was a little more challenging for Chestnut. During the competition, a masked protester jumped onto the stage, bumping into Chestnut. Chestnut put the protester in a brief chokehold before resuming eating. It didn't seem to faze the champ, who ate 63 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That number was 15 hot dogs ahead of the next closest competitor.
And looking at your weather in Athens tonight, we're looking again at an overnight low of 68, so another cool night compared to what it was throughout the day today. That 70% chance of thunderstorms is still looming, so just make sure to keep an eye on the sky. Then looking for tomorrow, another 70% chance of storms with another 90-degree day most likely and a low of about 70. And then the 7-day outlook, we've got Wednesday through Saturday, we're going to see more rain, and then Sunday through Tuesday will be the nice days to get outside and enjoy some time in the sun. And that's all I have. Back to you, Peyton.
Thank you, Jacob. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Jacob Mata and Maria Manessi, I'm Peyton Simchek. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Visit Athens County. More information can be found at AthensOhio.com. Athens, it's more than a place. Support comes from Hocking Valley Bank, offering mortgage loans, a refi